Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Health Chat. So glad to see you here. You and I, we're going to talk about some things that, as a society, we really don't talk about as parents. And the sad thing is the great impact that this has upon our health, our mental health. And as a therapist, I have been working with countless families and their children for over 20 years. And there are a few things that I've definitely learned and I know to be true from working with them and from being a parent myself. Parenting is a beautiful thing. We talk about its benefits, how beautiful our children are, and we share cute stories of their behavior and their most recent escapade, a new tooth, a good grade, a new success. We share it all. But we're not honest about how we doubt ourselves. The moments that we weren't exemplary, when we came up short, perhaps we yelled, or we really don't know how to deal with the personality of a certain child or a child's unique needs. And we go to what we know, and what we know really may be nothing at all. Just as I sit here as a social worker, a counselor, as a therapist, and I know very little, virtually nothing, about engineering or carpentry or how to make creme brulee, you can be as lost with parenting. And what a parent may do is resort to their most instinctive or appropriate, or what seems to be the appropriate response, which fails because the parent forgets that they're talking to a child, to lower their tone, to use eye contact, or to ask questions. And so here are a few suggestions to restore balance to yourself during those parenting moments. First, let's make sure everyone is safe and take a break. You know, in society, it is illegal to leave the scene of the crime. But in this instance, secure your child or your teens, remove yourself for a moment, pray, drink tea, remind yourself of your own values, call a friend. You can return to the incident later and resolve it after calming down. If you really want your child to learn something, put yourself in a position to teach. You can't do this when you're angry or you're frustrated and you're yelling or you're crying. They don't hear you. Even though they're children, they're still human beings. And human beings really just don't know how to translate that type of language. Who does, really? The other thing is trust yourself. And that's hard to do when you don't know what to do. Parenting requires this on-the-job training. However, your worst decision will likely be better than that of the preferred choice of a 2-year-old. Now, as a parent, I succumb, and I admit sometimes my own teens may have better suggestions for ways that we can work things out than I do. And this normally happens because a parent has become hypervigilant about an issue or a precaution, or we really just have a normal parental fear. Ask your child or your teen a few additional questions. See if what you're concerned about is really valid. It might be. And you can resolve it with just a few questions, or it may not be. And then continue trusting your own judgment. Parents, you're really going to need to believe and know that you can fix your own errors. Even if you make a mistake, you can fix it. Now, this hypervigilance, it leads us into number 3. Because parents can make impulsive decisions. Yes, we do. For example, if you have a toddler and another toddler hurts your child or bullies your child, you may want to respond with very impractical and adult vengeance. And we will come up with elaborate scenarios of protection in our heads. And it's very often unnecessary. But for parents, this is a real fear. You want to protect your child, and And we fear the moments where we really won't be able to do so. You're going to need to learn how to manage yourself, because if not, you're going to have a couple of things happen here. You're going to transfer your invalid fear to your child. But that unwarranted, over-the-top response that you just displayed, that's what they're going to learn. That's the behavior that they're going to use themselves. And you don't want that. So don't be impulsive. And understand that urgency that you feel, I call it when your claws come out, it's natural. Own it, acknowledge that it exists. But even as a parent, you still have to be practical, because everything you do, even though you think, I'm not teaching anything, yes you are, because those kids are watching you. Number 4, this is something no one really tells you about parenting. We don't talk about this one. Parenting causes you to lose much of your identity. For example, you lose your name. You walk into your child's school and you are known as, oh, that's so-and-so's dad. That's so-and-so's mom. Your name is taken away from you. You lose privacy in your own home. You can't go to the bathroom by yourself. Your children won't allow you to be alone. It's as if they don't trust you. You know, I just said trust yourself, but it's as if your own children don't trust your judgment. People will ask you about the children. No one really asks you how you are. Oh, how's the baby? How is she growing? Is she thriving? No one really asks if you've been up all night or if you got any rest. It's really about that cute child that you have. And you will feel as if you no longer matter. You will miss your former self, despite being a loving mother and father. You will miss the life that you used to have. You remember who you used to be before you became a parent. And people will tell you that you're wrong for missing your former life. Seek to retain who you innately are. If you used to work out every day or a couple of times a week and you can't now because of your children or because you have become Uber before Uber ever existed, because you're transporting children around so you can't fit it into your schedule, find a way to do it at home. Do something that reminds you of who you are and will allow you to be that person. If not, you will become resentful of parenting, even the good parts of it. You really won't be able to enjoy the full benefits of it because it does have some. And this is the last one. Parents beat themselves up a lot for the rights and the wrong behavior of their children. Parents will also hold themselves up when their children do something right. Now, there's a problem with that. It's a little twofold. Your children come to this life through you, but they are not you. They have their own life to live. You teach them, but they choose what they do with your teachings. You cannot hold yourself to a high or even low esteem because of the behavior of your children when you have done this with your best and good intent. Because remember now, we are talking about people who are really working to be good parents. And some of their choices will really be a result of good parenting. And some will not, because parents do not always get it right. Sometimes a child, an adult child, a young child, they will get it right because they choose to be good people, regardless of what a parent did or did not do, or did not teach. And some of a child's choices will be a result of poor parental choices. Because parents show up human in every aspect of our lives, except when it comes to parenting. When it comes to parenting, parents expect superhuman behavior from themselves from themselves. They expect superhuman abilities to be able to know what the best decision is at all times. And then we want superhuman outcomes from our children. This isn't fair to them or to you. You are human, and you are going to have a human experience regardless of whether or not you want to. And there are going to be times where you are going to do some super things, but you do not have superpowers. You may have super prayers, but you don't have superpowers. Be realistic. Enjoy your children. Seek to give them. Don't seek to give them what you didn't have. As parents, very often, that's what we do. We say, I want my children to have what I didn't have. Give them the best of what you do have. That's what they deserve. Take care of yourselves. Be honest with yourselves. Own your emotions. Be practical. And trust yourselves. You're going to have to get some balance in the instability, because parenting can go up and down. It can be very inconsistent, just like children are. But we can develop the stability within the instability by how you choose to parent. Thank you.